Hey, this is Sydney, and this is the Shameless Black Girl Podcast. I've talked a lot of shit on the internet. A lot of shit on this internet. I've been many people, I've shown many sides of myself. I've shifted my handle. I've shifted my niche. I've shifted my focus over and over and over again. And something that has remained true is me talking shit on this internet, i.e. the truth. Let's get into it. So if you're anything like me, I have a boomer as a mother, and she was also an HR coordinator. So my mother was real deal Holyfield in these corporate streets. And growing up, something that she really pushed upon me that I swiftly pushed away was the essence of, you're going to end up being a corporate girly. You're going to get a 9-to-5. You're going to be on the straight and narrow. My mom always had a very specific path for me that I always found a way to get the fuck out of. Why? Because I genuinely never felt that path was for me. And I saw how unhappy it made my mother. So why would I want to be something that you're not even fucking happy with? Clock it. Now, something that I recall is my mother trying to always quiet down my creative niches, my creative urges, because she wanted me to be on this straight and narrow path. Obviously, as a parent, this does make sense because you want to make sure that your child is financially stable. You want to make sure that they are a stand-up adult, all of the good things, right? But I was a rebel with my mother, period. And as the internet became popular, just an FYI, yes, I am a MySpace girly. I started to see the power of the internet. So being 15, 16 and being on MySpace and now being 33 years old, I have been in these internet streets for a very long time, right? Something that my mother always used to tell me as I was surfing the web, y'all know Black Planet, like we were on all of those sites, Facebook when it was only for college kids, doing all of those fun things online when it was fun. Something that my mother always pushed to me was make sure that you never post personal things on the internet. Make sure that you never curse on the internet. Make sure that you keep a clean slate on the internet because people can dig it up and they can come back to haunt you. Those things that you say, those things that you do. And at the end of the day, I never felt like that shit applied to me, period. Something that always scared me about corporate America was the fact that people had to create a double consciousness to become that corporate person. Meanwhile, they're a completely different person behind closed doors. That frightened me because my mom, she was someone who was very fun, flirty. She was having a good time. She liked to unwind when she got home. And at work, she had to be a completely different person, different voice, different attitude. She couldn't speak her mind. And that frightened me a lot. And growing up, watching her go through the motions of her career, I always wondered, when is the jig going to be up, right? And as I became an adult, I really spent a lot of time transitioning my thought process and unlearning a lot of the things that I had been told. Because in my mom's prime, she wasn't using the internet as a tool, right? She wasn't using the internet to create a personal brand or to showcase her personality or all of those things. And that is something that I've honed in on over the last almost 10 years that I've been an entrepreneur. Now, I have had many businesses, right? I have owned a boutique where I sold clothes, jewelry, and shoes. I was a wardrobe stylist for 10 years. I owned a content agency for 5 years. And something that I've grown to know and understand is that, yes, those profiles can be separate, but on my personal profile, I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit because my job was never going to stop me from being myself. That was something that I always found myself overtly putting into place. I wanted my personality to shine in any role that I was in, whether I was working at a retail store, whether I was a wardrobe stylist, whether I was helping women with their content. I still wanted a space where I was able to be me. I always yearned for a space where I was able to be me. Also, being a child who was always shunned and told, be quiet. obviously the return effect on that is a child who probably is going to be yapping because nobody wanted to listen to her. Clock it. So over the years, since I've been talking shit on the internet, telling the truth, expressing my opinions, being unladylike, child, I've learned a lot. And no, none of this has anything to do with repercussions of talking shit on the internet. We still talking, okay? Something that I noticed while talking shit on the internet is how much Black women actually resonated with my message, but they did not have the particular positioning to be able to talk that shit like they want to. Clock it. And I like to be a voice for the voiceless. I like to be a voice for the Black women who have things to say, also to encourage them to do the same. Whether it's spiritual, whether it's about work, whether it's about business, whether it is about simply just showing up as a Black woman, I think that there is a specific space on the internet that is growing full of women who are authentic in their messaging, and we're getting far away from those fake messages, those fake, I'm perfect all the time and I never curse and I'm just super clean, the clean girl aesthetic. I think we're getting away from that because we're starting to realize how unrealistic it is. You know, women have been shunned and told to be quiet for a very long time. And I'm seeing such a beautiful thing happening online where so many women are starting to turn on that camera and talk, speak their minds, talk about the things that are bothering them, talk about the things that are helping them grow. I think that there is such a beautiful space that is actually being honed in on online that we need to discuss. I encourage the girls to talk online, and no, I don't want you to lose your job. So you know your parameters, not me. However, I think that there's something to be said about a woman as myself who is shifting and moving through the world without those parameters, right? It is an honor and a privilege to be able to talk shit on the internet. I understand. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to speak my mind freely, to talk about different things, organizations, ways I feel, all because I want to, based on my experiences, based on what I've been exposed to. And I understand that it's a privilege, right? I think that for many of us, it is time for us to start figuring out how we can just start talking more and speaking more. It doesn't necessarily always have to be a negative thing, but I do think that many of us need to start figuring out a way to speak up. It's time. I can't tell you the number of women that I've met simply from talking my shit online and speaking honestly and truly so that I can actually align with the audience who is for me. I think that a lot of times when women were building these digital platforms, we are trying to look as perfect as possible. We are trying to look like we have it all together, like the kids don't have snotty noses, like the house is always clean, like I have all the content equipment. And the reality of the matter is it's simply not true. And something that I've realized through meeting different women in the digital space, whether that's just, hey girl, let's get on Zoom together, or let's get on FaceTime together and have a wind down, or meeting these people in person and saying, let's go grab a drink. Something that I'm seeing so much is women telling me in private, I see you, I recognize you, you're me. And not being able to say that in public. And it's really challenging for a lot of women who have so much to say. They want to say the thing, but they can't because of their job, because of their social media policies and the things that they are placed behind so that they can't speak their mind and talk about their professional career or how stressed out they are, or simply based on the fact that they don't want to be judged and they want to show up as that perfect person when it's not realistic. Meeting different women in this digital sector has been such a privilege and an honor while talking shit, simply based on the fact that I didn't realize how many women actually felt the same way that I did. I didn't realize how many women could connect with me in the things that I was saying. I just was looking for an outlet. And throughout the years, talking shit online has attracted my actual tribe. I think that when women are creating in this digital space, a lot of times they're not showing up as themselves 100%. And what that does is it creates a whole audience of women or men or people in general who simply know the fake you, the one that you keep putting up on the internet that you really don't like, the person that you really don't resonate with, the person who really doesn't have it all together. And I'm here to tell you, the person who doesn't have it all together, they're more likely to gain an audience of people who will actually show up for them. True sisterhood, true friendship. Okay. I talk shit on the internet to make sure that I am aligning with the right people. I talk my shit on the internet so that I am lining up with an army of women who are on the same damn page as me. Because why do I want to look around and see all of these people who shouldn't be here? Clock it. And over the past month, I spent a lot of time on TikTok really talking shit about previous relationships, right? And I get DMs every day where some people are like, I would be so ashamed to talk about that. But the reality of the matter is, what the hell do I have to be ashamed about? Yeah, I'm going to tell a story time about a relationship about 3-4 years ago where this person acted a damn fool in my presence because it is an experience. It is a learning lesson. It's a learning lesson for other women who may be going through the same thing and not knowing what to look for. If we don't share and we gatekeep all of our experiences, then do we even have a map of how our life went? I think that many of us are utilizing social media to look perfect, when in reality, for me, I am utilizing it as a time capsule, as a way to be remembered, because this body ain't gonna last forever and neither is this life. And y'all gonna remember me, okay? I know a lot of people are saying social media is not a diary, keep some things private. But privatizing Sydney, the shameless Black girl, is something that I used to do, right? It's something that I did when I would gatekeep myself and be the mysterious private girl online. And the reality of the matter is, this is not serving me, and it's not actually helping anyone else either. Yeah, I can take the pretty pictures, but at the end of the day, your girl has substance. I'm educated, I'm Black, I'm beautiful, I'm gifted, I have a voice, I have a mind of my own, I have free will, I have freedom of time, I'm childless. The list goes on. And I plan to discuss all of those things on the internet. Okay? I think that us being quieted down, whether it's by men, women, they, them, whoever chooses to say it, I think that us being quieted down and told to you don't have to say that, you don't have to do that, you don't have to talk. A lot of it is to make them feel comfortable, right? And I think that it is really a struggle for a lot of people to see women show up in their greatness and to show up and talk shit and to show up and say, hey, this wasn't a good experience for me. And here's why. It is very uncomfortable for people to see women showing up and showing out and speaking freely and speaking openly. Why is that so hard for y'all? And I'm okay with making people uncomfortable while I talk shit on this internet because it's free for now. And I think that all of us should spend more time trying to figure out how to take up space. Over the past 30 days, that's all I've been focused on is how can I take up more space in these internet streets? I started my podcast. I started a Substack, which I'm really excited about. I've been talking so much shit on TikTok, and I've been sharing some of my story times on Instagram because I had to also make Instagram more sexy to me. There was a time where I really stopped posting on Instagram altogether because I felt like it wasn't a platform where we could speak freely, right? But once I took away the vanity metrics of looking at, how many people liked this post, even though I was talking the most shit, it didn't matter. It didn't matter because it was something that I needed to digitize, something that I needed to talk about, something that I needed to get off, and something that Spirit told me to download and upload straight to you. Clock it, okay? I know that I'm a chatterbox. I know that I talk a lot of shit online, but I hope that a woman somewhere can learn something from me, that you don't have to be ashamed of your story. You don't have to be ashamed of the good things, the bad things, the ugly things that have happened to you, because at the end of the day, I'm sure there's someone who can relate to you. There's someone who can help you, who can give you a reference to some sort of assistance or help. We're utilizing social media backwards. And I think that if we understood how many people are trying to silence us, we would start talking a lot more. Don't know who needs to hear this, but I don't plan on shutting the fuck up. Clock it. You know, if you stay quiet about it, they'll say you enjoyed it. Don't forget that. That's why I talk this shit, okay? And even though I've utilized my throat chakra a lot in these internet streets, it's still something that I am working on. It is still something that I am honing in on. It's still something that I'm perfecting, because even I have that kind of, I don't know, imposter syndrome, where I feel like, oh, is that too ghetto? Oh, should I not have said that? Oh, is that going to get me canceled? And at the end of the day, I have to have the same pep talk with myself. You're that girl, you're that bitch. And at the end of the day, someone needs to hear this. This is why it came into your mind in the first place. Say it, try it, just try. What good is it doing by staying in your brain? And at the end of the day, we should be acting on our ideas. That's something that I've been spending a lot of time doing, a lot of time challenging myself to, because at the end of the day, when this life is over, I want my body to be completely empty. I want my mind to be completely empty. I want my heart to be completely empty. I want to be used in all ways, shapes, and forms by, whoever's up there. All I can say is this: me talking shit online has really created a lot of beautiful friendships for me. It has created a great community of women for me. And most importantly, it has gotten me seen by so many people. It has started and launched so many beautiful conversations, so many hard debates, so many just intelligent dialects between women and men, between men and men, simply because I chose to open my mouth. Whether it's in a styling space, whether it's in a content space, whether it's in a business space, or whether it's in my space, any way, shape, and form, however I choose to show up, my voice needs to be heard. I encourage you to talk a little shit on the internet today. Why? Because you can. And why? Because you don't have to be perfect. Bye.